Okay, abusia yabe makwaba sonko so ediba Ghana politics avenue. So abusia yembonra yensemu. One of NPP former NPP criminal appointees ni bi. Abusia Attorney General atrack no wadwane every Ghana de akwakopi mu ewo you guys see abusia empanyinfo working on the so enye asam keto akra yakwako hu baby a ohye ewo you guys abusia enye easy kra na Solomon Owusu edin sembi ababetu dwa ede afa ho ayensa mumre no mum yenko na yenkonkotie ensema ekoso eyesa former appointee we abusuan echese ohye de wa attorney general SBN ne nuoma echese prosecutional process no ekoso na ono de osuru wa fetch de kode edwane akwakopi UK mum yenko na yenkonkotie ensema ekoso unsubscribe ya subscribe like na share ma afofron so enter into me and kabiaha Ghana politics avenue. So and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that any update be able drop piano one sa able to me aka medamase.
So limping in the MPP and your cherished viewers across the length and breadth of this world. So my difficulty this morning is that you have described, your topic is that minority as it were slums government or the AG on this public outburst on various cases. That is the case. But you see, the United Party is also a minority party. So what you have to start doing, and by extension, all hosts of programs must start doing, is to distinguish. They have a name. It's a political party. The NPP grouping in parliament. Then everyone will know that it does not include the United Party, that is a minority party in this.
But you have representative in parliament.
So what is happening is that in 2016, when the elections took place, the New Patriotic Party won 169 seats. They went on this tangent of organizing press conferences, bogus ones as such. By 2020, their numbers had reduced to 137. They did not learn anything from it, continue with the bogus press conferences. 2024, that number reduced from 137 to 88 Senna. As if that was not enough, immediately this new administration came, Afenyo and his people, and this same Don Dako started press conferences upon press conferences, and then there was a test case in Akwetia by election, just to test whether these press conferences do work. A seat that was a 50-51, the Ghanaians showed them that they were not interested in their unserious press conferences. So they voted for the National Democratic Congress. Not that they loved the National Democratic Congress. Indeed, if we had gotten our final certificate as a united party, we would have contested that seat and we would have won it without any hesitation. But the Ghanaians said, these people, they can't trust them anymore. So as we speak, they have 87 members of parliament. And what is going to happen is that with the way they are doing the same thing over and over, definitely they will get the same results. When their numbers reduce to 0, that is when they will stop doing this press conference. The only press conference that the people of this country are awaiting the minority to do is to come out, first of all, to apologize to the people of this country why they stole so much and still wants to lead this country. That apology people need. The people of this country wants to see the opposition holding press conferences on why they must prosecute all those that looted from the state. The people of this country are expecting the minority to call on their own members or call on the Attorney General to fast track the prosecution of people involved in the National Service Authority scandal, involved in the All Africa Games 13th edition, involved in the PDS, involved in the National Cathedral, in the what do you call it, buffer stock, in the scholarship secretariat, in the NLA, and so on. This is the kind of press conference people in this country are waiting for. You and I, it is our tax revenue that pays the Attorney General. Is that not the case? The Attorney General is the lead counsel for the state. Now, as someone that is paying tax for him to be paid, you don't expect him, or you expect him to hide from me the sort of cases that he's prosecuting. Who does that? In any case, when an Attorney General goes to court and file a writ, it is announcing to the entire world that this is what it is. It's more or less holding a press conference. If a writ is filed in court, it becomes a public document. The mere fact that nobody goes to town to go and make press conference does not mean that it's not a press conference in itself, because the world has been notified that you, Senator Nombo, you were put at NSA. From our records, every month, you were from 2023 to 2024, you were busily taking 516,000 from our accounts, amounting to about 8.2, and that the people that were put at the National Service Authority, forensic audit exposes that they have stolen from us 2.4 billion Ghana cedis. That's guess what? To open a bank in this country, you need only 400 million cedis. What it means is that National Service, those that are involved in this corrupt practice, they have denied this country of 6 solid banks. Can you imagine the number of graduates who would have been employed with this money? Now, that alone, the number of industries that could have been expanded if these monies were extended to them, so that the teeming youth who have finished universities, polytechnics, nursing trainings that are not getting jobs could have done. That is what we are discussing. And when an Attorney General is briefing the citizens, you say what? He must go to court. In any case, the minority, their lawyers, why didn't they go to court to respond to the Attorney General, but rather also chose the same forum to also let the world understand their position? Are they not lawyers? John Darko is not a lawyer. Because they know that what the Attorney General has done and continues to do is not in violation of any legal provisions, either in our constitution or in any act, and that he is behaving properly within the confines of the law. And that is why the minority can also have their say. At the end of the day, it's a judge that will determine this matter. Why the minority wants the Attorney General to refrain from doing that is that it is hurting the image of the New Patriotic Party. I'm just coming from the Bono East. All of them, when you go, the young ones, they are criminal party. That's what they are saying. That's what the young ones are saying. Because it is affecting them. Mind you, a lot of them that are involved in this press conferences, their cases are also on the way. So like they say in our local parlance, if you see someone's mustache being burnt, you put yours in water. So they are putting yours in water, so that the matter does not get to them. They want to make the most noise. They did that. They succeeded along the way. You saw at a point the Attorney General was not briefing us anymore. It was as a result of these constant lamentations from the opposition. And he also got caught in the web. But he realized, he realized fast that, hey, that was not the way to go. I am with the Attorney General today, tomorrow, that he should brief with the citizens. His briefings. Don't you want briefings? Then what is good governance for? Is it not the same minority who have been calling on other ministries to be briefing us? They have been calling on the health minister to be briefing us, the education minister to be briefing us, the agriculture minister to be briefing us, all the other sector ministers. Why is it that when it is briefing from the Attorney General, you have a problem with it? It's also briefings. And there cannot be better briefings than other. So we must go with it. Senna, the corruption levels we are dealing in this country, it's not a child's play. It's not a child's play. Mauli Agbenya, in 2023, a carpenter in the Jasikan district stole only a goat mare. He was in prison for 6 months. Only a couple of days ago, Comfort Tentua in Achimoda went to a grocery shop, stole diapers, milk, and some few items worth 1,384 cedis. The woman has been sentenced to 6 months in prison with hard labor. 1,384. Kwabena Bukari in 2013 in the Agogo District Court, Magistrate Court, he had also stolen goat, was imprisoned for 6 months. So if people who are stealing items less than what we are being treated to currently are going into prison for 6 months, then why must anybody think that people in public service, be it ministers of state, be it heads of SOEs and so on and so forth, must get away with stealing of hefty sums? Instead of the opposition accusing the Attorney General, they must be praising the Attorney General for the yeoman job that he's doing for this country. At least as of this point. Some of us even have a problem that is slow, it's too slow. Because the 13th World Africa Games, I'm yet to hear anything about it. Though he has promised that it's going to come. As to when it's going to come, remember the National Service, he promised that by end of July, the matter was going to go to court. It took some time. Now that it's in court. If I tell you what the people, the civil servants have done to this country, look, there's a gentleman. He's part of the buffer stock case, which is Samasari Asante, the second accused. He has run away from this country, chilling in London. The proceeds from that crime, if I tell you what he has used for, and I'm going to expose all to the Attorney General. Money that could have been used to build hospitals and construct good roads for you and I has landed in individuals' pockets. And when you get the opportunity of speaking to the people of this country, you minority say what? The Attorney General must not tell us what he's doing? And you want to take it serious? And just like Comrade Pratt was saying, this is not the first time. These briefings have been going on. In the Opponee's case, in Atufos's case, damn it. Said in the Tamaklos case, all these briefings were done. Why did we not complain then? I never heard John Daku in those days complain anyway. I never heard any of the minority lawyers and so on and so forth complain. But today, because they know, because like I said, anybody occupying about 99% of state institutions today who is unable to expose the rot that happened there, it means you yourself want to steal from us. That is the reality of the day. Because it was widespread. They opened the floodgate. That take whatever you can. So they started packing the courts. Started packing the courts. From the lower courts to the Supreme Court. From there, they introduced that law called plea bargaining. Steal as much as you can. Put some 60% or something somewhere. When it becomes so close, so crucial, then you bring that money, then you bargain and you go your way. That was the mentality. But have you forgotten what Professor Fimbowati told us in his report? Corruption in the environmental sector? Where? Even in the midst of our difficulty, when there was an outbreak of what? COVID. These people took advantage of it to steal from the state. They told you they cooked $54 million cities worth of food. Did you get some to eat? Around that I was seeing Mujib every day. He never got some, he was complaining. But given the mic, this man will try and defend the actions. They never gave him anything then. 54 million Ghana cities worth of food. Sana, has it crossed your mind? I mean, it has to feed the entire country. They were sharing monies like cakes. Felicia Tete in the northern region. The first vice chair of the NPP, she came to tell us that she was giving 100,000. Have we not been discussing this matter here? By virtue of being a first vice and a parliamentary candidate, check the number of parliamentary candidates that we had in this country. And if each one was getting 100,000, how much would have been that? We have seen all these things. The last time the ECG went to the Public Account Committee, said, now were you now saddened by the expose? The ease and the cheek with which they were telling them how they expended state resources or money. And that is why I started by telling you Kwabena Bukari, the story of Mawuli Agbenya, the story of Comfort Enchua, in fact, the story of Richard Asari, that young 18-year-old in Tutu Kwapim who went and stole a goat. And when he was apprehended in court, he told the court that he is an orphan and that he stole the goat because he needed to buy books and boots. Books to further his education. That was the reason given by that young man. He was in prison. His future had been stolen by the very people who are holding press conferences that the Attorney General must not be speaking. Why must we treat ourselves like that? You know, there has to be unconventional ways to deal with the issues of corruption and that we are not getting anywhere. So that we are not getting anywhere. Poverty is greeting people daily because of the greed levels. Look at the properties that our brother Hana has acquired within a short space of time. So that we may sit here for the rest of our lives, we may not acquire half of it. Not that anybody is smart or smarter than us, but because by virtue of going to shout on top of his voice and his party winning power and he being closer to someone at the Jubilee and being offered an appointment, he decided to amass wealth. At the time he joined the new patriotic party, he was only, when the party was formed, he was only 6 years old. Elders that formed that political tradition, 99.9% of them never even dreamt of getting 0.2% of what they have been accused of having gotten. Is that the way we use our politics for? Is that the way we must build a country? What happened to public interest? So therefore, what you ask yourself is, what is the motivation for people going into public service? Now it's no more service. It's about how much you can loot. And is that the way we want to go? So that one batch of people or political party comes to loot from us, then we take them out, then another set comes, they also loot, we take them out, go and bring the old. What is this? Yesterday I was at the emergency unit of Kolebu Teaching Hospital because I asked my sister there and said, pray that you don't have emergency situation. The medical doctors are doing their best, but the situation is such that no matter how best you conduct yourself, the facilities are unable. People who are in an emergency situation were standing, no available beds to accommodate them. And so the pressure from the citizens on the medical staff there, you can imagine. I observed, I witnessed it firsthand. Meanwhile, monies that could have been used to expand these facilities, monies are in the pockets of individuals. And the minority is saying what? We must not expose this. The Attorney General must keep quiet and just go quietly to court without briefing us. How many Ghanaians can be going to court every day to follow these cases? How many Ghanaians? Meanwhile, the titles of these cases are what? The Republic versus so and so. Who is the Republic? Are we not a Republic? Are we not the individuals that make up the Republic? So what is wrong with him and letting us to know what is happening? I will encourage him to let everything drop. I've said in the past that any Attorney General that wants to succeed must carry along with him the public. If you don't carry along with you the public, the propaganda in the system will wear you out. Because now we don't have only one channel media. We have media stations that belong to opposition and other interest groups. So if you are not going to speak, they will put words in your mouth. And it will be very difficult for you to defend yourself as an Attorney General. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with what he's doing. And if anybody thinks otherwise, if anybody thinks that he is wrong, those that think that is wrong must sue the Attorney General. What is wrong with that? You can sue him. But because they know, and they know that what took place in the last 8 years was a crime scene. Was a crime scene. To the extent that even internally, within the party, they know that it was a crime scene. That is why my brother's camp, Ken's camp, in going into an internal election, have established what you call anti-rigging. They know the people are thieves. Have you heard some before? That we are going to embark on an internal elections. Senna, the internal elections, a particular candidate says he knows they will steal me. So I am putting in place anti-rigging committee. And that any attempt to rig, because they know that's what they've been doing. Even if the elections they are rigging, how much more money? That is the extent of damage. That is the extent of how serious we have degenerated. And so our Attorney General must be encouraged to go on that tangent. And once he is done, he must proceed to court and battle it out and make sure that beyond incarceration, their properties must be confiscated for the state. Every asset that has been acquired, and we can easily determine all those ill-gotten wealth assets in this country. Once we are able to do that, Senator, this country will be a beautiful place, and our youth will not be traveling overseas, sleeping outside, not getting any better job, being treated anyhow, and remain here and serve Madagana. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Of course, when I come to you for the next topic, you can make whatever.
Okay, abusuya we ne ensema ekoso political highway so Attorney General Solomon Owusu and I did ensem no etudwa ede amaya or said the Attorney General he is on the right track and omnyina so eguso etanichi ebedamase some jepe ne kokoti sa ensem we ede amaya Ghana politics avenue so bedamase